We are with Linda Jeffrey, representing Brampton Springdale for Ontario elections, of course. And thank you very much for sparing time. I know it's the door knocking season and whatever attached to it. Just a couple of questions. First, let's touch base over the issue of Brampton University, which the other day we were at the finance ministers get together and we discussed that. That you say that you are committing yourself to Brampton University, which is fine, and Bramptonians need it. But you have been working behind the scenes on it. That's my understanding. And you have been in consultation with the Mayor of Brampton, or if not with consultation, she has been aware of that situation. So where that proposed university is going to be?
You asked a lot of questions. I'll try and answer them one by one. Certainly, I had a conversation with the mayor and the premier probably 6 weeks ago. She came in, and that's her usual practice. Just before the election, she comes in to talk to the premier about what she'd like to see going forward in the platform. And this was one of the issues she addressed, that she was interested in bringing a university forward. I think it was a really big issue in the municipal election. A lot of people proposed that subject, and certainly I hear it at the doors. A lot of residents in Brampton don't want their children leaving the community to go to school or to have to pay for residence. They want them close to home. We do have some great investments at Sheridan College right now. It has a baccalaureate program, so you can get a degree from Sheridan, and we've been putting investments in. But I hear my residents who want to have it here in Brampton, and I think Kuldip Kular, Vic Dillon, Amrit Mangat, and I will work after the election to make sure that that conversation continues to take place. The mayor did not talk in our conversation with the premier about where she would like it to go. My comfort level would be at the corner of McLaughlin and Queen, where we used to have a proposal for Variety Village. To me, it's an underutilized piece of property. There are some seniors programs. Flower Town is there, but I'd love to see an education institution as well, because we have all the infrastructure there, and it's in the downtown. Be convenient for a lot of residents in Brampton. But obviously, we'll have a conversation with the mayor and the city of Brampton to see the best location that we can place it. But again, it's not a done deal. There are 3 locations that the premier spoke about that are in the running. Brampton is one of those communities. We're a very high growth community, and certainly I would like to see that happen in Brampton because it's something my residents say they want.
So basically, it's still up in the grabs, I would say, that it's not a done deal that it'll be a Brampton University coming up.
It's not a done deal, and certainly I don't think the Progressive Conservatives have talked about those education institutions at all. I think we're the only government that has talked about it. It's something that my residents want, and in order to be a good advocate, I need to listen to them and present the best case possible. I think we're a very strong case, and certainly if 4 Brampton members are returned, we make the best case.
Okay, coming back to, again, Brampton issue, and that is the old Peel Memorial site of Brampton Hospital. Promises has been made and never been kept, and people are mad, and we have gone through it over and over again. What went wrong to begin with, and how committed you are going ahead?
Peel Memorial Hospital, I think most of your viewers will remember, was a very old hospital. When we inherited it, it had had a fire, a flood, 1 working elevator, very bad shape, no investments in the infrastructure. And originally, back in 2007, we thought if we put a wing on that hospital and improved just the wing, that would be enough. It's not enough for Brampton. We deserve 2 fully functional hospitals. That's what I've been fighting for. So the last 4 years, we worked on a business plan to develop a whole new hospital campus on the site. So the last 4 years have been dealing with the community and going out and talking with them about what services they would want on that site. It takes time to do a good business plan. We now have a great business plan, one that will mirror what you see at Women's College Hospital or Princess Margaret. Actually, I think it'll be better than those hospitals, because we have a model that will actually be a whole campus of services, diagnostic services, therapeutic pools, mental health services, seniors, and also an announcement that really didn't get a lot of attention was Aeronote Kids is also going to be located on the site. I think they have about $72 million. They're going to compile all of their 5 satellites and put them at the Brampton site. That's really exciting. If you have a child who has a developmental delay or a disability, you'll be able to get the services in Brampton, close to home. That's what families need. They want those services here in Brampton.
You make a commitment on camera that you'll be 100% committed to a second Brampton hospital if elected.
You have my word that this is the most important thing. I am committed to Peel Memorial. All 3 of my children were born there. We deserve a second hospital. I've seen the Treasury Board documents that say it's in the budget. I know people have been looking for it in the platform. The platform is further out. We, as a government, have been committed to building hospitals. The Conservatives closed hospitals, I think 28. We've been building hospitals. We've been hiring nurses. We've been building family health teams to provide additional services to the healthcare in Brampton. That's what I believe is the most important. If you don't have healthcare close to home, nothing else matters. When someone's sick in your family, you need the services here in Brampton where they belong.
I know it's on the back burner now, the tax credit issues for new Canadians. You tell me that the term used by Mr. Hudak, foreigners for new Canadians, how does that fit with you and when you do door knocking with the voters?
You know, when I talk to people at the doors, they care about jobs. And they want to make sure that anybody who's qualified to be an engineer, an architect, or a pharmacist, they should be using their skills. We need them. We need immigration to Brampton. And I see this tax credit as an ability to help small business so that they can hire that talent that they need. And I see it as helping a group of individuals who are falling through the cracks, who have a skill set that we need in Ontario. We want them here, and we want to use those skills. And they can't get Canadian experience. So they can't get a Canadian job without Canadian experience. They can't get Canadian experience without a job. We need to help those individuals. We want them to start contributing to society. And you know what? When they get that qualification, they could start a business in Ontario and hire more people. This is all about employment in Ontario and moving us forward together.
Thank you very much for sparing time for Breakfast Buzz.
Thank you.
Signing off, ladies and gentlemen, from Linda Jeffrey's office in the riding of Brampton Springdale. And good luck.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting us so we can take a first-hand look at what the people have to question you all about. I have a question for you before we go any further, that your opponent, your Liberal opponent to be exact, has said that she has been working behind the scenes over a university. Again, it's a confused state of affairs. She's been working over a university, then it's a proposed site, then she'll be fighting with Dalton McKinney to bring a university. So Brampton is one of the proposed locations. What do you have to say to that?
Well, what I have to say is that it's nothing different than it has been over the last 8 years. Proposed is a very, what does that mean? It's quite confusing. Over the last 8 years, we have no idea when our hospital is going to open and why we are with one hospital. A university is just another example. There's no land over the last 8 years. There's been no land allotted. There's no permits. There's no pre-budgeting for this. Our students need a solid answer. They need some help. Brampton's one of the largest growing cities, and I don't understand why over the last 8 years we've been ignored. We're with one hospital. We're without a university. We don't receive our fair share of funding. So this is just, I think our voters realize this is just another lollipop during election time, just another false promise.
Coming back to you, how committed you are? You are committed to the hospital. We know that. We have gone it over before. How committed you are for a university in Brampton, or your party for that matter?
Absolutely. Education and healthcare are our two largest investments. So instead of putting $30 million elsewhere, we will be putting $30 million towards better education. And what that means is immediate solutions for students in Ontario. 60,000 more seats, university seats for Ontario students to be able to get. So that helps students immediately. For students that are starting university next September. And in the long run, right away, I want to sit down with the city and I want to look at what we can do of getting a university here in Brampton. Not being an MPP, you don't have the resources and you don't have the information that our current MPPs have. And that's the unfortunate part. They have so many resources. They've had 8 years and yet nothing's come out of it. So I'm looking forward that the day after October 6th, I can sit down and start discussing plans for a university. But for those students that have to start university next September, we've got 60,000 seats coming to Ontario, and it's my job as an MPP to bring those seats here to Brampton.
Last but not the least, going door knocking. What is the most frequent question that people ask you, and what is your answer?
There's actually two comments and questions. One comment is, please don't make a promise you can't keep. We've had enough of it. And number two is, please stay in touch with us after you get elected. We want to be able to easily find you and get in touch with you. I think that's very important communication. Also, healthcare, Peel Memorial Hospital, auto insurance rates, and a university. And you know what? Those are three issues that I personally want to take on and champion to make a difference to Brampton.
Thank you very much. And
I get to join my door knockers
sure,
there.
sure,
door knocking. We're
definitely,
having a
yes,
great
and
morning.
good luck in days ahead.